Any questions for Senior Captain Kyle Perry? What do you mean to be named a captain? What was that like?
Oh man, it's an honor. Very humbling experience to be looked at by my teammates and coaches as a leader, and to be a Nebraska kid and to be named a captain. I think it just it means a whole lot in itself, and I think to be from here it means a whole lot more too. And so it's something that I'm gonna look on for the rest of my life with a lot of pride. This honor, and the guys that I'm surrounded with, it's a real honor. So.
What's the balance with that, where maybe you take on some different roles as captain, but you still want to be who you are and kind of be within yourself? Is there kind of balance there?
Yeah, nothing's going to change with me. I mean, I try to be, light, and everyone knows that I'm competitive. I'm gonna, go out and compete when, it's my time to really throw down, and I'm gonna want to win regardless of what sort of position I'm in. And like you guys saw it last year, I was hurt, and I was still all fired up for the team, even when I had a 0% chance of pitching. So I'm not going to change myself, and I think that's what makes the group of captains this year so special. Is we got 4 completely different personalities, but we got 4 guys that want to win, more than a lot of other people. So. No, and I'm just gonna stay doing what I've been doing, and I think that helps me to my advantage, and so I'm pretty excited to be in that position, but I don't think much is gonna change with me.
What did you learn about that group last year of captains? I mean, just having a front row seat to what they do, and like, how does having good captains translate to what you guys do on the field?
Yeah. Well, it's just you look to 4 guys as those guys that are gonna lead you into battle. And so to learn from those 4 guys last year, it's the same sort of deal. You got 4 guys, 4 different personalities, and 4 different playing styles. And it's something awesome to look at. For you got a group of 30-some guys, but they can look to these 4 guys and at least relate to one of them. With them personally. So I think it's great to have a nice little blend of personalities, and we learned a lot from those 4 guys last year, and I think they're really going to help us with what we learned going into this year now with us. So
maybe the next step for this program, obviously you want to host regionals and things like that, but maybe how do you get there, and what's kind of the vision you guys kind of see for yourself?
Well, Coach has said it, and we've reiterated plenty of times that it's just being where our feet are, and taking each day one day at a time, one pitch at a time, whatever it may be. And I think that's how we're going to get to where we need to be and where we want to be, and that's ultimately Omaha. So I think as long as we keep doing that, next thing you know, we're going to be looking up at the TD Ameritrade, or I guess, what is it now? It's Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab, pardon me. But yeah, that's what it's going to be, and we're going to be looking up at that sign now. If we keep stacking the days we need to be doing, and doing the things that we need to do on a daily basis to get to where we need to be. So I think that's the next step for us.
What does it mean to be playing alongside with so many other Nebraska kids?
Oh, it's awesome. Like I said, it means a whole lot to even be a part of something like this, and to be a Nebraska kid. It does mean a little bit more. And I think with a lot of in-state guys, we all share that same bond of being here and it meaning as much as it does. I think it's really great, and it's an honor to be alongside a lot of in-state guys.
How are you a different pitcher than you were at the end of last year? Are you working on new pitches, or what's kind of your repertoire at this point?
Just trying to be mature with my approach, not trying to be too fine. I've just been trying to make minor adjustments with things to make myself better, and at the same time do everything I can to possibly help this team win. And my competitive nature is going to shine on the mound, and I think that's what drives me through as a pitcher more times than not. So I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing, and not trying to make too many drastic changes when I'm on the mound, but fine tuning a lot of things.
Or how much value was there in being able to get back last year, even for a handful of spots? How much did that help you just kind of get?
Oh, it was great, and I mean, it was a no-brainer to rehab back, and however many months that was, just to have an opportunity to play with those guys one more time, because I knew a lot of guys were coming back for their their COVID years, and nothing was gonna keep me away from having another opportunity to have those guys behind me while I was on the mound. So it was great, and I think it helped me a lot to get that experience now in the regional and those experiences up until then. So I think it helped me a lot, and yeah, it was a no-brainer to come back and do that for us.
You mentioned the COVID year, like, do you consider this to be your senior season, given that you technically would have another year? Or
yeah,
think about that at all?
Well, something we learned with COVID was not to take anything for granted, not take a day for granted, not to take a practice for granted. So, yeah, I'm looking at this. Heck, I'm looking at today, like today's my last day, and that's and when, like I said, you keep stacking those sort of days, then you can stack them into something with great potential. So, so yeah, I'm gonna look at this like it is my last year, and then a year from now we could be looking at a different situation. Who knows? So, so yeah, I'm just gonna take each day one day at a time, but treat every day like it's my last.
You were pretty limited in those starts last season. What's it like knowing that you've got a full season ahead of you and you're not really limited this season?
Well, it's great because not every year for me here in Lincoln has looked the same. Freshman year was probably the most normal year I had, and I was just a young buck that had no clue what was going on around me. So, it's going to be great to have something set in stone in some sort of way. A little bit of structure there, and it's not as many question marks that I'm looking at leading into this year. So it's going to be great to have some sort of solidarity and structure going into this season.
The pitching staff as a whole, how do you describe what you guys might be able to accomplish this year, knowing that 2 of your weekend starters from a year ago are no longer with the program?
Yeah, the pitching staff. That's one thing that looking after last year, we lost a few great pieces, but I think we're coming back. And it might sound crazy, we're coming back even stronger. And I've touched on it. We're all really competitive, and to think back and think of who's going to be in our rotation. I can't really give you a solid answer. I could give you 5 different rotations that would all be successful. And that's, I think, is a great problem to have. To be sitting there scratching your head at what your opening weekend rotation is going to look like. So I think to be in that position is great, and I think we're filling a lot of shoes that needed to be filled. And we're getting Colby Gomez back. And if you guys remember my freshman year and his freshman year, that man was an All-American, and he saved a lot of games for us, and to have him back is electric, and he looks pretty healthy and pretty darn good. So.
Outside, as much as you have here over the offseason or preseason, helped you get a better gauge of what this staff actually looks like?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no one that's timid right now. It's like everyone's diving headfirst into it, and I think a lot of guys that are returning, they've seen how harsh this weather in Nebraska can be, and to see 50-degree days in late January and February, it's a great blessing to be here and to have those days. So I think no one takes a day for granted around here, so to have those days, it helps us out a lot, and I think everyone's really shining through when we get all that room out there to move around and have fun.
Kyle, the reserve season tickets sold out today. How excited are you guys not just to play at home, but to play in front of fans who are probably just as excited as you are?
Yeah, I mean it's awesome. Everyone knows that the fans here are great, and for the fans to recognize what they have in front of them while it's going on. A lot of winning, and that's what we're going to try. That's our product that we're going to be trying to put out each and every weekend. And so for them to be on notice and see us out here, put in the work to have them out, I think that's awesome. And what we're going to get from the fans, and they know what they're going to get from us. So I think it's really nice to see that. Even leading into this opening week, I think it's great. So.
On the flip side, with your offense, what are you seeing from the bats that are coming back?
Oh man, just a lot of talent, a lot of consistency. Just a lot, swinging bats are dangerous. That's what Coach Harvell likes to preach, and we like to see a lot of aggressive swings from our offense. And regardless if that's against me or whoever it might be. I love seeing it because at the end of the day, they're on my team, and that's what I like to see. So a lot of good signs from the offense coming into the season.
A lot of them are tough. Everybody's a tough out.
Yep.
Are you guys seeing that as well?
Absolutely, yeah. It's you might think you have a guy, and then you have him down 2 strikes, and he keeps fouling balls off. It's like it frustrates the living heck out of you as a pitcher, when you're throwing live to him. But if they're going to put up that fight against you, they're going to put up a fight against anybody. So a lot of great signs. So.
Thanks, Kyle.
That's it. Awesome. Thanks, guys.